From Boss Track, it's Her Hype Squad, a show about amazing women who've made incredible strides as leaders in their industry. They're here to support you in your leadership growth, to encourage you and hype you up as part of your Hype Squad. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Her Hype Squad with Boss Track. I'm your host, Michelle Harris. Today we're talking with Valerie Bihet, founder of Vibe Agency. Vibe is an event design and destination management company based here in Miami, Florida. We talk about Valerie's core values as a leader, how she creates a trusting team culture working remotely, and the importance of mentorship. She offers valuable leadership advice on a variety of topics throughout the conversation. You're going to love Valerie's enthusiasm. And just a quick note, we did have a tiny issue with our connection, so you'll hear a few little breaks in the beginning of our conversation, but it does get better, and it's so slight that it doesn't take away at all from Valerie's message. Before we get into our conversation with Valerie, let me tell you a little bit about her. Valerie Bihet is an award-winning event producer with more than 27 years of experience in the management, design, and production of special events that communicate and achieve her clients' objectives. Originally from Paris, France, Bihet got her start in events, working as a public relations and special events manager at Disneyland Paris and public relations director at Club Med Paris. In 2004, Bihet founded Vibe, an event design and destination management company here in Miami, Florida. The company has produced more than 1,000 events throughout the U.S., Europe, Mexico, East Asia, and South America. And Valerie has received multiple professional recognitions for her work. Her clientele include global brands like Dior, Cartier, LVMH, Coty, L'Oreal, and more. So without further delay, let's get into our conversation with Valerie Bihet. Well, hello, Valerie. It's so nice of you to join us. We're so excited to have you on our podcast today. We gave the listeners a little introduction of who you are before we get started here, but I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about yourself and your background working in events and maybe a little bit about what you did prior to that.
Yes. So thank you, Michelle, for having me with you today. I'm glad. So my name is Valerie Bihet. I'm French. I'm sure you hear my very strong French accent. I live in the US now for 22 years, and I have a background in the event industry for more than 22 years. I used to work on the corporate side. I did my event classes, I would say, at Disney, where I worked for them in Europe for many years. And then I moved from the event industry. I added some qualification in public relation and communication. And then I worked for an hospitality company called Club Med, where they own a lot of property around the world. And then from there, Club Med asked me to move in United States, which I did back in 2000. And after 5 years working for them here, they asked me to go back to Europe. I think I fell in love with United States, and I wanted to stay here. And I had an opportunity. I'm very lucky, but I sold an event concept to a cosmetic brands, luxury brands, and I built a Vibe agency from that moment.
Great. And so I guess you did tell us a little bit about this already, but what made you decide to actually branch out and take that leap to start your own agency?
Honestly, luck. I did, for an entrepreneur, I think I did everything a little bit upside down, I would say. I started with dessert, and then I moved back again to put the foundation, work on the company. What is a brand culture? What is a brand? What it should be? What would be my marketing? How will position myself and everything? Where normally when you have an entrepreneurship, you decide, you have an idea, and you start from there. You build everything and you launch your company. I did it a little bit upside down. So it's a little bit unusual, I would say, because it was there. I had to build a company. My clients say, go produce, give us an invoice. So I really, it was really like in the action in the moment. But when it was done, after I reflect on what I was doing, take a step back and see how I wanted to position the company.
Well, thank you. I love that, having the dessert first. That's a great phrase to use. And now I did investigate your website quite extensively before this, and I know you have core values that you founded Vibe on. So I'd love for you to share what those core values are.
So I think, even if you are an entrepreneur, your core value are supposed to reflect also who you are in life and how you want to live your life. So definitely mine are to act with honesty and integrity in everything that you do. I think this is important. Then it's to satisfy clients with innovative ideas, quality of the execution, and really to have a value and service for them. And the third one is really to respect our social environment, physical environment, and really where we produce events, who we partner with, to associate myself with people who share the same value as I do. And the last one is really the value and to develop the team, to develop their initiatives, to even develop also their leadership. So I have a small boutique agency. I don't want to become a big multinational. I might be one day integrated in a bigger agency, but I really hope that our department, we will stay and we keep to push those values. And it's what I said, the Vibe DNA is passion, it's inspiration, it's creation, it's motivation, it's exaltation, it's emotion, the vision, innovation. And it's really what I hope. And I told my team, every day when you wake up, you need still to want to go to work and to be passionate by what we will do today, what we will accomplish. And if one day you don't feel that passion and you start to feel tired, just maybe raise your hand and say, hey, I need some sparks. I feel a little bit down. Just talk, have a discussion and everything. And then I tell them, if it's happening, it's maybe that you are ready to move on to another experience. And be honest and be transparent. And I've been very lucky in my team because I had people in my team they were for more than 15 years. And I think this is my vision right now.
That's amazing. One of the things that caught my eye was your focus on relationships. And as you talk to your clients about what they're doing to focus on relationships with their events, I was wondering if you could maybe tell me a little bit, or tell the audience or a little bit more about that.
Yes, but all the relationship is it's really definitely also with a link with the value and everything that we just discussed. But you need your relationship, you need to always lead and lead by. So don't do to others what you don't want them to. So I think this is a first principle in life. Then it's really to communicate relationship. You need to communicate regularly the value. You need to reward the people that you are in relationship to maintain this relationship. I think relationship it's like friendship. You need to call people. You need to get update from them. You need to make some little attention that they will remember and will please them. Sometimes it's just to have a phone call with them. It's all these type of things. So, and it's you. Don't be afraid if at some point also, I think in our personal life, we evolve, more older you grow and everything, maybe you will have more spirituality that you need in your life, much more with who you are and everything. And don't be afraid in your relationship to say, our relationship right now is not fitting who I become, or is not fitting where I am right now. How can we make this work? What can we do? You need really to communicate all these type of things. And I think this is important in the relationship.
I wanted to ask you one thing you said. So you have some team members who have been with you for quite a number of years, which I know all of your values probably contribute to that, but what for those employees, what specifically do you contribute to retaining those employees?
So this is a good question and more difficult after the last 3 years that we were going through, definitely, because we were we have office where we used to meet every day, and with everything that, and then we were having already before the crisis, we were having 1 day per week where everybody was able to work from home, because I say it's in the meantime, refresh your batteries. Maybe also you take a little step back from when you are at the office, when you have open space and everything. Right now we are 100% remote. An office, we move our office because I think I needed also some fresh air, I would say. And everybody come whenever they want. So in that case, we communicate when we will be there. Like next Monday, for example, I know the team will be at the office and they mentioned, Val, let's go and meet over there. We have a new team member joining the team. And in that case, we will all be there to welcome her and to show her the way on things that we do. But, you know, we organize very regularly lunches or dinner where we meet. You need to put some milestones, you know, to make sure that you stay in touch. We have our daily staff meeting every day. Plus then after, when we work by team on project, we are on teams. And so we work really closely all together. You know, there is a lot of tools that manager can use to keep their team together. We try new things. We do like some team building activity. We do all these type of things. And so we set up processes. We set up meetings. We set up some mentor moment and everything when, you know, when we do our staff meeting, where what can we do to evolve? You know, if you have a burden on something and you look for new techniques and everything, we talk a lot and we can jump in at any moment. There's some moment where you need to focus on what you want to do. And in that case, you just put some time off. And then some moments when you can be interrupted and everything, and people can just come on and ask you any question. Yes.
I love that. Thank you. And so when you were with Disneyland Paris and Club Med, you were part of a bigger team. When you went out on your own and you were the one kind of taking being in charge of the business, what did you want to do differently that you didn't see before as a leader?
I will not say what I will do differently, because I think you evolve with any experience, you learn from it, and you take always a piece of it and you try to do it better. So I see more this in this type of process. So, you know, when I started alone and everything, I had to really organize myself at the beginning when I was alone, but productivity, how I will handle things. And then after, everything that you can delegate, you need to know that somebody else can even do it better. So don't be afraid to delegate. So this is how really I build a team. And really try to communicate with our team on how they do things, and then ask them questions that will challenge them. Will challenge them also to do better. But even in the event that I produce today, I'm using experience that I had in the past. And I say, oh, I remember, I like this idea. I'm presenting a project on Monday to a client of mine, and I use something that I did for another client, another industry. So I say, oh my goodness, I can take this idea that I did and I will adjust it to this new client for them. And I will try to make it better, you know?
Yeah, and thank you for bringing up delegation, because I think that is one of the hardest things as people move into leadership positions to really learn to harness, because they feel bad giving the work to somebody else because they might be already busy, or they feel like they can do it better, or they can do it faster and get it done quicker, and just becomes a big challenge sometimes.
You know, it's a process, but in the learning process, there is another thing that I say to my team. You have the right to do one mistake a day, not twice the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's when you do mistakes, when you flip a little bit, you trick, you walk, I say sometimes on the banana skin and everything. I say, this is how you will learn. You will learn maybe the hard way, but you will learn and you will get better. I think for a leader, if you want to grow as a leader, you need to know, to identify somebody that can take your job one day, and this person will allow you to elevate yourself to your next step.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is when you surround yourself with some people in the team. There is two ways of leading. There's the way where you say, find some people who think like me, have the same value as me and everything, definitely. But you know, in the disc, what you do usually in human resources, you need to try to find some people also who will tell you, I will not do this like that, I will do this. And like that, you will also grow, you nurture yourself to elevate yourself towards something that maybe you will not have think about. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And yeah, I think it's my vision today as a leader.
That's perfect. And so a lot of people in our audience, a lot of women in our audience are newer leaders. So I'm wondering if you could tell them maybe what is the most important thing to learn as a new leader, whether they're leading a team or, some people I have to imagine are just leading a business, or not just, but they're leading a business and not a team.
A mentor.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
A mentor.
Mentor. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Take a coach. Sometime invest in people that can teach you to go faster and to lose, because they have been there already before you, and you will go faster. Mm-hmm. This is the best advice that I can tell you, honestly. It's true. You need surround yourself, take a mentor like that, ask question. Yeah, that's it. I think it's the best advice right now. Tell a new leader, a new entrepreneur person to do. It's my advice.
I love that answer. And I just want to say we did not plan that answer, because Boss Track does provide the mentorship and coaching. But yes, I completely agree. That's why we started. So we did talk a little bit already about your team is working remotely. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, because I know with the last few years, leaders who didn't necessarily have a team that was spread out are now trying to manage a team. And what would you say to kind of keep the culture that they had established before, or how to build a culture when your team is remote? Like, do you have any advice that you would give?
So reinforce your value, the culture you want to develop. So it's what I mentioned before. Continue, meet, do some lunch, do virtual lunch, deliver catering, all meet together to have the same emotion when you test something, when you see something and everything, you all have that at the same time. Definitely, I would say meet every morning, like what we do, review and share what others are doing to make sure that people know what's going on in the company. And I think I still love the virtual aspect now. And I love the fact that we are still working the way we want, trust your team. Like I had some team members, they went in Europe for like 2 months and everything, and they were working from Europe, but we adjust our work schedule and everything. Of course, we make sure that really enough time to work together with a jet lag. So I say, I have no problem of you working in Europe. I trust you. I know you will maybe not go on the beach and everything, but you can go on the beach until 3 p.m. European time. And then at 3 p.m. join us to work at least for 5-6 hours, and always clear on your expectation toward your team, have definitely goals, objective, very clear. Make some points if they are close to reach the goal and everything to motivate them. So reinforce the communication definitely on what you expect from them, and really reinforce the fact that you are here to support them, and even if you are busy and everything, block some time in your calendar where you know that you can help them to move fast on something. So I would say always block half an hour or 1 hour at the end of the morning and 1 hour at the end of the day for emergency, and to make sure that they can move on things. And also to give critical feedback, which is not easy, because the way you need to communicate critical feedbacks, you need to prepare, I think, in communication. This is in the way you think, to bring a critical feedback without having the people having the impression that it's critical feedback, because sometimes younger people or people who are not trained to the corporate culture and everything, they can really take it personally. And this is very important, to not take personally a critical feedback, I think. And also time management can be a big burden right now in the society today. And we are facing so many distractions. So coach people. Even me, I take my method from my mentor for me for many, many years, and I use his tricks. At some point, I say, okay, hey boss, how do you do to be updated on everything and having so many emails there? I took all his tricks from him, and I'm still using them. And really, another thing is respect your team and respond in a timely manner, because when somebody is coming back 2 days after you need something, no, it's not good, I think, for people. I think this is important. I don't know if I answer your question completely.
Yes, you did. It was perfect. I'm wondering, with your team, do you do cameras on, cameras off? What is your position on that?
So ideally, I would love to do camera on 100%, but sometimes, because we can have some issue with the Wi-Fi connection and everything, each in our house and everything, I help and say, don't worry, we can put it on, and then after we put it off for the sake. But if I had something to recommend, I would always for sure say camera on 100%.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important to do it at least some of the time, to have that relationship and connection. There's something about that visual, I think.
Yeah.
So I know you plan multi-day sales kickoffs, incentive trips for your clients. And I know one of the important things for you is for them to include team building activities. And I'm wondering why do you feel that's important for them?
I think team building, it's fun. And the objective is always to motivate the team and the people who participate in the event. And in the meantime, it's help you build some skill of planning, fixing problems, solving communication issue, learn to work together, maybe also learn more about each other. And it's also a way to celebrate, and to collaborate. So I think this is great. In every multi-day event, and we have an event coming in September. We have 3 events back to back coming up, and in each of these programs we have a team building moment. After the team building, there is different team building. And I remember one event that we did. It was the first in-person event that we did last year, and it was in Charlotte. And the way we did it is we started with very like a 2 hours business review, and then we break right away, and we were doing team building right away on day 1, which usually the team building people, they can do it on day 2 or on day 3. And my clients say, Valerie, why do you want to change the agenda like that? I say, because you know what? You need to pause, and they want to meet and they want to have fun. So you are here, you will go with the objective of the meeting. Why are we here? What are you expecting from them? Where are you taking your team? And what will be the outcome at the end of the 3 days? And then here we break, and then we are going in the team building. And honestly, the result was wow, because people people, they love it, because they came back from the team building and the set for the 3 days seminar was made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The ice was already break, and we let them talk between each other. We let them enjoy the moment. We let them meet. We let them reconnect. Well, in the meantime, it was a little bit challenging, of course, for them, and it was a huge success. So I think it's very important, and more today than ever.
Yes, and I feel very strongly about team building activities. And you get into the team building activities, and some people just kind of like, oh no, like what are we doing? But it's so interesting how people just generally get into them, whether they want to, whether they felt negative towards them or not. So I don't think that leaders should be scared of feeling silly, or having people think that what they're doing is silly, because there's so much value in team building activities.
But you always need to, when in any event that you are doing, it's like a story. It's a book. It's a storyline. You need to write your chapter. Okay, chapter 1, chapter 2, introduction, ending, and all that. So you need to think about your event and writing your chapters after chapter, and your team building need to match with the theme. It need to be linked with everything from the beginning. You need to integrate it completely, and like that, it even doesn't feel like it's a team building. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think this is important.
Yeah. I'm wondering if you have some ideas, like team building activities, that you would recommend for some of the leaders that are not actually at events, but they want to do team building activities with their teams.
I will be honest with you, there's plenty of things. So I would say something: contact me, ask me, tell me what is your objective and everything, and I can give you some idea. But right now there is a lot of different things. In September, we are doing 2 things. We are doing something around music, because music speaks to it's a very universal language when you speak about mainstream music. So we are doing something using music. We use a lot of arts, do it yourself also, because people love that right now. We used and we around building a product or something with painting, with putting together like a meal, or building something. We do a lot of things oriented with CSR, corporate social responsibility, because people want to give back to the community, hosting them and everything. So this is so very important. But don't worry, feel free to reach out, and we will be in touch.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for offering that. I appreciate that. Can you share maybe an interesting or funny oops moment that you experienced as a leader, where you're like, oh, I didn't think that was going to turn out that way, or I wish I would have done that differently?
I have a lot of moments. I sometimes, but so now there is one thing. It's another advice: is when something is happening where it's disturbing you and you want to react, you know what? Turn your tongue 7 times in your mouth before talking, and take a time to step back, take a piece of paper, write what you wanted to say, and look at it, and maybe then rework what you wanted to do or how you want to express it. This is also it's a huge tips, I think. But yes, sometimes I'm very impulsive because I'm passionate, and sometimes I can go in the moment, and I don't want to say that I don't want to be passionate anymore and everything, but I'm trying to sometimes take a little step back, and on how I will handle the situation.
Sounds good. And just to kind of confirm, you said your initial recommendation was to swish your tongue around in your mouth for 7 times?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you are listening to me. I don't know if you are also reading, but
Yes, we are recording. Yes.
So everybody can laugh. But believe me, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to try.
I like that. I'm gonna have to try that. I was not had that recommended before, but I can see where that just makes you it preoccupies your brain for a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a few seconds.
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned that you have a mentor that you relied on, and you've gained some valuable advice from. Who was the most important mentor to you in your career?
I think in the different part of my career, I had a different one. Right now, interestingly, I have a girl, and she used to be a client of mine, and she had a shift completely in her. She used to work for a big corporation for many, many years, and she's in her 60s. And from one day to another one, her corporate career stopped completely. And she went from 350 email a day to 0 email a day. And she knocked at my door, and I feel she was a little bit like she was super stressed. And I say, you brought me you helped me, because she hired me to work for her and everything when she had an event. And I always remember it. And you had so much experience in your career that people like me, we can use it. And so we were having a conversation once a week, and she was giving me a lot of good advice that I use, and we are still in relationship today. When I have a doubt on something, I help her. And then I end up also to help her, because she restarted a business that is successful, and I'm super proud of her. And it's beneficial for both of us. So it was great. And one of my first mentor was at Disney that I worked with for many years, and he was always very challenging, always challenging better. It was hard sometimes, but I owe him so much today, because I think that if I'm here today fighting, passing, since I built my agency, I think I passed 2-3 crises almost now. And last one, a very difficult one for our industry, definitely, and for any industry in particular. But I'm still standing up. I rebound. I reinvented myself. I had a new type of services in my company, with a virtual and hybrid event, which is a huge opportunity to do more and to bring to our clients in this industry. We're happy, even if it has been hard and challenging. I think I grow a lot in the last 3 years, and we keep going with the team all together. We grow together. We challenge ourselves together, and it's. I think it's amazing, and we have not been bored. We have not been bored at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I can tell. Do you have any suggestions for women that are in a corporate environment, like where to look for that mentor, if they're, how to approach somebody that maybe they work with, like a higher up executive? Like, what would you recommend?
There's different organization, but right now I'm part of one that is called Mentoro, Mentoro, myself. And so right now there is a new chapter. They are launching a new chapter also in New York that will start, where we have our mentor and we have our mentoree, and we support each other. But I can try to help and everything to find more, definitely. But a coach also, coaching is great, and there is different organization. But I think this is really interesting. I even myself, sometimes I take some coach for 2 or 3 months when you feel that you are overwhelmed with everything and you need to take a step back, but you start to be in front of a big white wall and you have so many things coming in your head and you say, oh la, where do I start? And you don't know. When you are in doubt, and don't be afraid to doubt of things, because I think doubting, it's not a weakness. I think it's strength, and you take it as a strength, even if you are afraid when you doubt of yourself, because from there it can only be better. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The more here, get a coach. There's plenty of coach. Where to find it? Ask around yourself, because you cannot imagine how many people. And right now there is more and more coaches, definitely, appearing, personal coaches, business. And there is like a lot of also organization online and everything. So I think don't be afraid to invest a little bit, even if you say, oh, it's costly. Go for it, because it's so helpful. And find the right person for you. And one person that is a good fit for you for a year might be a good next year, because you want to work on something else. So don't be afraid, and go for it. Look for this person.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And then you talked about getting leadership advice from your mentor. What would you say is maybe the best leadership advice you've ever received?
Don't be afraid. Try new ideas. Keep challenging yourself. Keep learning every day. Educate yourself 20% of your day, or 20% in your week, depending on how you want to get organized. Push yourself to learn new things, to go outside your comfort zone, yeah, I think I will say that.
Great. Thank you. And then part of what we focus on here with Boss Track is not only leadership skills to lead a team and lead your organization, but also we focus on wellness, because you really can't take care of others and lead others unless you're taking care of yourself first. So we do like to kind of talk a little bit about advice for just mental health. And so one of the things I'd love to know is if you have like a daily routine, maybe not daily, maybe you do it frequently when you need it, but is there something that you attribute your overall well-being to?
So I will tell you, I'm not the best person to answer that question, because I'm not taking care enough about myself. I'm overweight right now and everything, but there is some. I'm trying. I have a passion. I love to play tennis, and try to on something that you like, and take a little step by a little step. Like me right now, I know that when I'm stressed, when I have too much in my plate, I eat. And to be at home sometimes able. But when I'm at the office now, we have those applications like Uber Eats and everything, and suddenly I see myself pushing the button. But what I did right now, and actually I started because I want to help a friend of mine who has been diagnosed with cancer and has to lose 30 pounds in very fast, actually. And I say, you know what? I will take a step. It's a little step, but right now I'm I'm going to find, and I have delivered to myself some very partial control food, and I will stick to it for like the next 2 months. So just take a little steps and take it like that. Don't say I will do all these things when it's too much. And choose one task. Choose one thing that you want to do to start somewhere, to change something in your life. And the most biggest advice that I would say, you need to stick to it at least 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't reach out those 21 days, you will go back to your bad habits. So remember that. Take one thing and do it for 21 days.
Yeah. That's great advice. Very, very great. Good advice. We talked a little bit about music earlier when you were talking about team building, and I'm wondering if you have a song or songs that you will go to when you need a little bit of energy, or if you need to feel great about the day. Is there anything that you'll turn on to help you get there?
Right now, I will tell you, because I have my Spotify playlist music. I have plenty of Spotify playlist music, but the song right now that I love and that I listen all the time is Imitadora by Romeo Santos. Imitadora by Romeo Santos. It's one of my favorite songs. And then because I'm French and I love disco music, there is a song called, in French, we say, it's in English, it will be The Last Day of the Disco. And the name of the artist is Juliette Armanet. I can send you the writing if you want.
That would be great.
I love this song, and it starts slow and then boom, it pop up and you want to go and you want to dance. And definitely I will recommend those two songs right now.
Thank you. I love it. I'm going to check them out. But yes, I definitely need you to send those over, because I don't think I'd be able to find them.
I will.
Perfect. And I feel a little bad asking this question because it sounds like you don't have a lot of extra time on your hands, but do you get a chance to read or listen to podcasts? And if you do, are there any that you would recommend to our listeners, whether fiction or nonfiction?
So I will tell you, because actually it was one of my resolution of the summer. And I read so much in our industry, and I have so much magazine to read in our industry that it was very difficult. But lately, I just bought me a Kindle. Mm-hmm. I had the application on my phone, but I was spending so much time on my phone that when I read something between social media and all this on my phone, I was not having the impression that I was disconnecting. So I bought myself a Kindle and I downloaded books, and I love mystery novel. I love Harlen Coben novel. I had the chance to meet him before he became now the amazing and very known writers and very popular and everything. And so I read books right now on my Kindle. And you see, look, I have my Kindle next to me. So when I want to take a break, actually, I read a chapter or two. I disconnect a little bit. Yeah.
Is there a specific book by him that you would recommend to start with?
Lately, I think I wrote the book Woods, Wood, Woods from him. Yeah. Yeah. And then after, what I like to do, because I love to watch movies, because I didn't mention, but this is something that we were doing a lot at Disney. When we were having movie premiere and everything, we were always watching the movie, and you need to watch it one time. And you say, when I watch a movie, you watch only the decor. A second time, you watch it to see related to the food, if there is anything related to food that you can do in your event. Then, you watch it all you dissect the movie like that. So this is what we were doing when we were producing events for a movie premiere. So I think I like when I read a book now, for example, with Harlen Coben on Netflix, there's a lot of books which are TV series, short TV series, and I love after to watch them also.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. I know we're getting to the end of our time here, and I want to just make sure that we give enough time for one. I'd love for you to share anything you think our listeners should know that we haven't covered. I know we've kind of covered a wide range of things, but just anything that you would recommend to a new leader or a leader that we haven't talked about.
Difficult question. I just want to say that even if I'm a very busy lady, I will always find some time to help other people and for them to grow, because I think by helping others, you will also help yourself. So I think it's a win-win for everybody. So do not hesitate to contact me. You can find me on Instagram, on LinkedIn, through my website. Contact me is directly going to me. So do not hesitate if there is anything, and if you are in needs, and let's meet and let's talk and let's learn about each other and let's grow together.
Thank you. I love that. And thank you for sharing. But would you mind, and I am going to put it in the show notes, but just for people listening, can you share your Instagram handle and then their website so they can hear that?
Yes. My website is www.thevibeagency.com. My Instagram is at the Vibe Agency, and my LinkedIn is my first name and my last name, Valerie Bihet.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you again so much, Valerie. I appreciate you coming on, and it was so nice to meet you finally. I know we've been planning this for a few weeks now, and lovely to see your smiling face. And I hope all of your events go well for you. And I personally look forward to connecting with you soon to share advice.
We need to have a mojito together.
Yes, a mojito. Yeah, we're both down here in Miami. We discovered that. So yes, definitely mojito. Maybe by a pool or
absolutely
some beautiful view.
Or maybe to go to dance one night. Why not? Because also it was on my task list, and I started again dance classes, and I love it. It's 40 minutes, and my mind is going completely. It's a big refreshment, and just pick something like that, and you will see it make a big difference in your life after.
Yes, I need that.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Michelle.
you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Michelle.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle again. Just one more thing before you take off. If you've enjoyed this podcast, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/BossTrack, or sign up for our free weekly newsletter. It's easy to sign up and easy to cancel. Every Monday, we send out a short, exclusive newsletter of what we found during the week that we're excited about, we're inspired by, and we're watching and reading. If you'd like to check it out, just to go to thebosstrack.com/newsletter. Just type that into your browser, thebosstrack.com/newsletter. Drop in your email and you'll get the very next one. Thanks for listening.